Well, difficult to describe, excuse me, tonight's guest in a few words because he has so many different hats. Thione Niang is the founder of Jeff Zone Farms, but he's also a political activist. He's a community leader, a motivational speaker. Thione, very warm welcome to you this evening.
Thank you.
Now, the last time we saw you, you were investing in energy in Africa with the superstar Acorn. This time, you have set up a platform to encourage Africans back to farming.
Yes.
Young Africans particularly. All right, tell us about this platform. I mean, if we move back to agriculture and farming on the continent, what got you started with this?
Well, Jeff Zone Farms was a personal story because it's been years now. Every year I go back to Africa. Every month and a half I go to Senegal, 2 months. And one time, 2 years ago, I started to pay attention to everything I'm eating. The chebujen, our national dish in Senegal, 90% of everything in there, from the oil to the rice to all of the vegetables, most of the time are coming from overseas. And I started questioning myself, how come a country like mine or the continent of Africa, the youngest population in the world, we have sun 365 days in the year, we have the 65% of edible land in the continent, and we still importing $30 billion of food in the continent, and everything I'm eating in my house is coming from overseas. And how come countries like France, countries like Morocco and etc., which many of those countries only farm 6-7 months out of the year, are feeding us? And I say, I want to do something about that.
Well, Africa's
This is why I started the Jeff Zone Farms, to make sure that from my house first, that everything I eat comes from the country and the farmers from the country. Then it went into engaging young people to take control of our own economy, not only our own economy, but the core of our economy, which is agriculture. You cannot talk about independence when you cannot feed yourself.
Let's stay with that, Thione, because Africa's annual food import bill is about $35 billion. That's expected to go up and up from here. That's really weakening Africa's economy.
But it's more than weakening it, because by 2050, you're looking at, right now at $35 billion. By 2050, experts talk about we're going over $100 billion, which is billions of dollars of business that some people will make a lot of money, but Africans. Okay? And then who's controlling you, who's giving you food is controlling you. There's no real economy when you cannot feed yourself. And there's a lot of factors into that, because I believe that most of the food that we're importing to bring in our countries, oil, we get it from Ukraine and Malaysia, for example, in Senegal, rice and etc. All those things that's coming in the country, the vegetables, the food that are frozen most of the time, also they're coming in, have some health issues also. And this is critical. But when we make sure that we send young people back in the farms, make sure that they believe in farming again, that we make it attractive, that people like us who went overseas, who travel, will understand the world, coming back and investing into agriculture will help draw young people to live back the cities, go back in the farms, and help feed the countries, but also help create jobs for these millions of young Africans who finish universities looking for opportunities to work and sometimes can find them. This is the reason why they are taking sometimes the cities to go to live in cities like Dakar, Nairobi, etc.
How can we
But even Rochelle, to add to this, they go all over, taking the oceans to come here in Europe and the United States, extra looking for dreams that doesn't exist at all.
Okay, all right. Thione Niang, you are the founder of Jeff Zone Farms. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.